It's 2025, and the American middle class is dead, completely gone. And we're acting like this is fine? The country we grew up believing in doesn't exist anymore. The promise that hard work gets rewarded? Oh, that's over. Millions of Americans are living in conditions that would make third world countries feel sorry for us. The average person has been completely abandoned. Corporate overlords have squeezed every drop of wealth out of the working class and now demand we thank them for it. You're expected to sacrifice your entire existence, 70, 80 hours a week, just to barely survive. This isn't politics, this is economic warfare. The numbers are depressing, and the people running this show are counting on us being too exhausted to fight back. A basic one-bedroom apartment for $1,800 requires $64,800 annual income to qualify. 78% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. Median household income is $70,000, but after taxes and necessities, people are drowning. We've created a system where most Americans can't afford basic shelter. When people can't afford traditional housing, where do they go? The answer should terrify you.
Moving into our new space. You can pretty much live in here during the day, and then at nighttime you can't sleep in here, so we gotta go back to the tent. Storage is right next to our tent. It's amazing.
And it's climate controlled. Huge. It's absolutely huge. And we're finally gonna have a space to set up all our nice stuff.
I'm tired. You ready to get this left?
My tomato.
A little bit.
I haven't wanted ice water so bad in my life.
Taking all of this stuff out of our tent, put it into this new storage.
It's just gonna be a living space. There's not even gonna be storage. Barely. Tell me how we got this fucking weird wall. I'm putting stuff on it. I'm gonna make it my little artwork.
We can have a camera in here set up.
Oh shit. And I like that this is open.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Put up like Christmas lights.
What you've just witnessed there is the collapse of American civilization in real time. Someone living in a space designed for boxes and furniture, not human beings. This isn't just dangerous and illegal, this represents the complete failure of everything we thought America stood for. We have working Americans paying to live in storage units with no running water, no proper ventilation, no emergency exits, risking their lives because the alternative is homelessness. And here's the thing, we're not just becoming a third world country, we're becoming worse than one. At least in developing nations, people have communities. They have extended families. They have social structures. Here, you're on your own. You work 80 hours a week and die alone. Let's talk about healthcare, and I want you to understand how completely we've been betrayed by the system. Emergency room visits that cost $7 in Vietnam are costing Americans $3,000 with insurance. Medical bankruptcy affects 530,000 families annually in America. That's more than the entire population of Wyoming going bankrupt every year just from getting sick.
The American healthcare system needs to get the fuck out of here, okay? This is crazy. I just asked for an itemized bill of earlier this month where I was dying and I needed to be hospitalized for 3 days. Bitch, the total of that 3-day service was $83,334.33. For what? For what? Oh my god. And I'm wondering if I get a degree with this service or walking down an aisle for surviving. You must be out your mind.
This is what our shitty ass healthcare has come to. Where my patients need medicine and supplies and their insurance won't cover it, and here I am spending my own money because my patient needs it. and he doesn't have any money, and he can't work. And the insurance won't even cover what he needs. And I'm sad and I'm sick and tired of it.
This is American healthcare in 2025. People are choosing between insulin and rent, between cancer treatment and keeping their homes. Families with decent jobs and insurance are being destroyed by medical debt. And the worst part, this was designed. This isn't an accident. This is how the system is supposed to work. It's a wealth extraction machine, and you are the product. Now, some of you are thinking, well, if it's so bad, why don't people move somewhere cheaper? And that question reveals just how deep this trap goes. You see, you can move to rural West Virginia, buy a house for $80,000, but the jobs there pay $12 to $15 an hour, if you can find them. The poverty rate in rural America has hit levels we haven't seen since the 1960s. So now you're trapped in a place with cheap housing, but no way to pay for it. It's a geographical prison.
West Virginia is now poorer than it has ever been, and please know that our state is a poor ass state. They are not doing anything for the West Virginians here. They are not trying to bring in better jobs. They're literally sold for hospitals. Who knows where that money will go, because I'm sure it's not going to go to the people of West Virginia. Just as money that was allocated to us for roads was taken, it's not going on the roads. I can tell you that from my road. Also, where I live, we have a spring, thank God, because a lot of people have to haul their water because we don't even have running water here.
What we're witnessing is the complete destruction of the American economic model that built the middle class. For 75 years after World War II, we operated on a simple premise. Work hard, follow the rules, get rewarded with a middle-class life. That social contract doesn't just exist anymore. It's been deliberately torn up and burned. The managerial class, the bureaucratic class, they're completely disconnected from what's happening to normal Americans. They look at unemployment numbers and GDP growth, tell us everything is fine, while families are living in cars.
So we're a family of 5, and we live in an RV full-time, and unfortunately this is the case for a lot of people with today's economy and inflation, and the cost of housing is just astronomical, and it's causing a lot of people to financially struggle, which makes it surprising when I get so many hateful comments pretty much daily telling me that this is not appropriate for kids, pretty much child abuse. Or one comment said, if we can't financially provide for our children properly, we should have never had kids. Pretty sure she's deleted her whole thread now, because hopefully she realized how idiotic that is, because God forbid you have children when you are doing well financially and hit hard times and start struggling. I guess you just should have never had children to begin with. I don't understand people. But anyways, those people don't pay your bills. So you do what's best for you. If you can't afford your rent and you can't afford your mortgage, then you do what you need to do to survive. And an RV is not the worst thing. It's honestly been so great for our family. It has freed us up financially, which has been amazing. And our family's closer together because of it. So please, if you're struggling, don't look at having to live in an RV is a bad thing, because yes, it's not a stick and brick house, but it has everything you need, and living simple is okay. We don't have to glorify having excessive amounts of things or space, because that's not a need, that's a privilege. So us living in an RV is helping us in the long run, as we're able now to really put back and save money to be able to hopefully one day purchase a house in cash and not have to have the weight of a mortgage over our head hanging all the time.
A family of 5 living in an RV, not by choice, but because traditional housing has been completely financialized out of their reach. And notice the shame they feel, the criticism they face. We've been conditioned to blame individuals for systemic collapse. It's psychological warfare. This is what the new normal looks like. Multiple generations crammed into single-family homes out of economic necessity. Alternative housing, because traditional housing is a luxury good now. Families making impossible choices between basic necessities every single day. The difference is, we're supposed to be the richest country in world history. Instead, we've become a wealth extraction operation disguised as a nation.
My name is Jamie. I'm a mom to 4 and I work 3 jobs. My full-time job, I'm a 911 dispatcher, and my other 2 jobs, I waitress. So earlier I posted a video asking everyone to please blow it up so that I can earn some money, because right now I am truly struggling. I spent all the money I had on school clothes and school supplies. I worked tonight at Buffalo Wild Wings at my part-time job, and my goal is to at least make $100 every night when I do work. I did not make $100. But anyways, I just wish I could, quit my 2 part-time jobs. I'm so tired. I don't want to cry. You would think 3 jobs, I should have money. Everything's so expensive. I don't live outside my means. It's crazy. Yeah. But anyways, I don't want to cry. I'm strong. Yeah. Anyways, please blow this up.
80-hour work weeks aren't just normalized now, they're expected. If you work less than 60 hours a week, you're considered lazy. This person is literally working themselves to death just to survive, and we call this normal. In any civilized society, this would be called what it is, slavery with extra steps. But here's what should keep you awake at night. The people running this system know exactly what they're doing. They do. When economists look at these numbers, they don't see human suffering. They see labor market efficiency. When politicians see families living in cars, they don't see policy failure. They see people who aren't working hard enough.
I'm a little concerned just on how my generation and the future generations are supposed to buy homes. So how are we supposed to buy a home when minimum homes are $300,000? 20% of $300,000 is $60,000. So for me to have to save up $20,000 just to put down, never mind closing costs and your realtor that you have to pay and all of the other fees that you have to pay, which could be a minimum of $8,000 to $15,000 for closing costs. I've heard people pay way more. And then what if you want to have a family? What if your girlfriend or your wife gets pregnant and you're like, hey, we should raise this baby. How are you going to afford it? Who's going to watch your baby? So I just want to think about that for people who are rushing into relationships and rushing to grow up. It is very difficult, not only because you can't afford anything unless you make above $100,000, especially in the New England. You just can't afford to live. You can't even afford to save money. You can't afford to go on vacation. Most of these people are living paycheck to paycheck, so don't rush to move out.
This emotional breakdown isn't unusual anymore. It's the standard American experience. People are having mental breakdowns because they can't afford to exist in their own country. And this person has a college degree and a decent job. None of that matters anymore when rent increases by $500 overnight. These aren't cost of living adjustments. These are wealth extraction operations. Landlords know people have nowhere else to go, so they can charge whatever they want. It's economic hostage-taking. Here's the math that should terrify every American. If you make $50,000 a year, a $500 rent increase represents 12% of your entire pre-tax income. That's like having your taxes doubled overnight, except this money goes directly to private equity firms and foreign investors who are strip mining American communities.
Now, what I'm about to say may piss a lot of landlords off, but I don't really care at all. But I'm gonna read to y'all the qualifications that this person wants for this house. And it ain't an amazing ass house. We're not talking about anything super expensive. The rent, like I said, is $16.95, $40 application fee per adult. They want you to make 3.5 times the rent. Standard, for whatever reason, is 3 times the rent. When majority of Americans don't even make 3 times a $1,600 a month rent. I don't know where people just get up and be like, oh yeah, we're just gonna make this a national standard that people have to make 3 times the rent amount. Majority of people can afford 2 times the rent on a specific basic home like this, but this person is going even further. They don't want you to have 3 times the rent. They want you to have 3.5 times the rent. They want the last 2 years of your W-2s, the last 3 months of your check stub, driver's license or ID, social security card. They want you to make 2 months worth of rent as your security deposit before you even move in, and you have to have a credit score of at least a 670. Off the bat, that disqualifies so many people from being able to be in a home that is decent. Let's add that up, why don't we? Off the rip, you have to pay first month's rent, $16.95. You have to pay $40 application fee per adult, and let's just say the standard adult is 2 adults, right? You have to pay, if you have a pet, which majority of people in Houston do have pets, dogs, it's a $250 non-refundable fee per pet. So let's just say you have a pet. We're gonna add that up, and then you have to make 2 months of the rent to equal the amount of the security deposit. So that's $16.95 times 2. All right, and on top of that, we're not even talking about your utilities and all the things that you have set up. They want you to have rental insurance before you move in. Standard rental insurance is probably about $25 a month. Let's just say that. Before you can even move into this house, sitting in a savings account somewhere or just idle money, you already got to come off of this amount of money.
3.5 times the rent in annual income. First month, last month, security deposit, application fees, pet fees, insurance requirements. You need $7,000 in cash just to move into a basic apartment, plus an income that 60% of Americans don't have. We've created a system that actively excludes working people from basic shelter. And here's the most frightening part. Every trend line is pointing toward complete collapse. Housing costs are rising at 8% annually, while wages grow at 2%. Healthcare costs are rising at 6%, while wages stagnate. Education costs are rising at 5%, while wages decline in real terms. The math leads to only one place: systematic impoverishment of the American people.
Okay, like, do I want to work hard in my 20s and then save up, and for what? Like, what are we saving for? Like, I have a car. Everybody has to have a car, basically. Like, you can't get around. There's no buses, trains, places. We're in the US. What are we saving for? We can't afford houses. So, like, what are we saving for? What are you saving for? And so, like, do I want to work hard in my 20s and then, like, what? Work hard in my 30s and 40s and 50s and 60s and then try to retire and, like, enjoy my life? Like, my brain is so, like, already broken out of the matrix that, like, why are we even working? We're literally working to buy shit.
When an entire generation looks at the future and sees nothing but debt and desperation, that's not individual failure, that's societal collapse. These young people are doing the math and realizing that even if they do everything perfectly, they'll never achieve basic milestones that previous generations took for granted. When young Americans start questioning the entire economic system, when they stop believing in the future, that's how civilizations end. Not with war, not with invasion, but with the slow strangulation of hope.
Guys, please give me a minute of your time. I need your help. Me and my wife, we're currently facing homelessness. If you could repost this and share this around. We've been staying in the car, guys, but we're trying to get a hotel room. Your guys' engagement, your guys' reposting, resharing, everything, saving this to your favorites helps us out a whole lot, guys. We're trying to get the algorithm to work in our favor. Please, I'm appealing to you as a father and as a husband. Make this happen for us, guys. Let us get 100,000 views. Let us get 200,000, 300,000 views. We need as much as we can, guys. We're trying to do everything we can. It says in the Bible, the Lord helps those that help themselves. That's what I'm trying to do as a father and as a husband. I'm trying to help my family in any way I can. Please repost this. Please share it around.
When working Americans choose to live in cars rather than sign leases they can't afford, we've crossed into failed state territory. This person works full-time, pays taxes, follows every rule, and they're homeless. They're not addicted, they're not lazy, they're not mentally ill. They're the logical end result of a system designed to extract maximum wealth from human desperation.
Welcome to America, people. Welcome to my new home in the woods. I just got my house set up. I have two jobs. And in those two jobs, I currently make more than my ex-husband and I made in the first 10 years of our marriage combined. And yet, I can't find a place to live. There's multiple issues at play here. I was living in a seasonal place that I had to move out of this week because it's like a summer cottage hotel place, and she needs to make money. And that place was $1,800 a month, and I still had to pay to put my stuff in storage. What does a girl do? I'm not going to quit my job right now, or jobs. No way. So I already had camping equipment from during the pandemic. I figured, why don't I attempt to romanticize this shit out of my life and make my home outside for the summer? Because otherwise I'm just going to cry. And I got pretty twinkle lights, so it shouldn't be too terrible. The issues are there's zero inventory, too many Airbnbs, sitting empty no less, people in big houses and only one person living there, people owning multiple houses and not living in any of them. The fact that I'm 52 and single and people don't want to rent even a one bedroom to a single person. And can I blame them as much as it sucks? What if I lose my job? The world's losing their jobs. At least if they rent to two people, there's a chance they'll get their rent. So even if I can afford to pay to live somewhere, I can't find a place. This isn't ideal when you're working two jobs. And it's not super close to work, but it's fine. There's no traffic. But I'm 52 and single and living in a tent.
But understand this, none of this is accident. This isn't market forces or natural economic cycles. This is the deliberate impoverishment of the American people by a managerial class that views us as nothing more than economic inputs to be optimized. We've normalized everything that should be unthinkable. Car living, endless work schedules, choosing between medicine and food, families priced out of parenthood, young people locked out of home ownership, communities destroyed by financial desperation. The question isn't whether Americans can adapt to third world conditions. Clearly, we can. The question is what happens to a nuclear-armed superpower when the majority of its population has nothing left to lose. Because that's where we're heading. And when we get there, when the cost of living exceeds human capacity to earn money, when 80-hour weeks aren't enough anymore, what happens then? The social contract between the American people and their government has been completely shattered. And historically, when that happens, very dark things follow. Look, that's all for today. Let me know in the comments if you're seeing this collapse in your area, because it's coming for all of us, whether we want to admit it or not. And as always, I'll see you in the next one, assuming there is one.